Okay, guys, so I put a little short out on this gun and basically teased it. So recently, working at the gun store and doing research for the channel and just my general hobbies brought me, I don't know, a newfound interest in World War I. I know World War II is very popular. There's a ton of people that collect those firearms, including myself. But I just had a new interest in World War I. I guess it stemmed back to last year around Christmas. I did an ancestry DNA test and came back a high percentage German, Germanic European, Italian, and a lesser extent some other countries in the Nordic area and Slavic areas. So after that DNA test, it just had me looking back at records and seeing draft papers and whatnot, and just renewed my interest in World War I. So what we have here is an Imperial German 1883 Revolver. Okay? So the story behind this revolver, before I go into the history of it, it was a military issued weapon. This exact firearm was issued to a Bavarian unit in World War I. It has the unit markings on it. They were explained to me by a serious German collector. So, right now I'm just going to go into what's in this display case. Basically, this is a glass shadow box that hangs on my wall in our little reading room. And what it has, it looks like World War I German officer photo. And all these items have been verified as 100% authentic and real by some appraisers and by an auction house. So, some of this stuff I don't even know what it is. I just know it's all German. You got a medal there. You got a buckle here. Some kind of medal there. A patch that's pretty well aged. You got a postcard here. You got another postcard here written in German. I could probably do some Google translation on my phone and figure out what it says. If you guys know, please comment it. Here you have some. These are 44 Smith & Wesson special casings. Basically what I think they were somebody went ahead and tried to reload for this firearm. The gun itself is a 10.6 millimeter, but can also fire 44 Russian and can also be reloaded for using 44 Magnum or special casings. I'm going to pause it right here to get rid of the shadow box and put the gun on the table so we can go over some of the markings. So guys, you'll have to excuse the noise in the background. I'll try to speak louder. My voice doesn't carry very well. The air conditioning's non-stop here. It's like 95 degrees. So, back to the video. Basically, we went over that this is the 1883 version of the Revolver. The original version for the cavalry troops would have been the 1879, which was just a huge revolver. This is a huge revolver here. And the 1879 was bigger than this. The handles almost makes it impossible to shoot. So this is the 1883, the smaller version. It would have been used in World War I and World War II. So what we have here is a World War I non-commissioned German officer. It's just a photograph I had printed. It shows basically this holster, which is definitely a reproduction. I know because I bought it as a reproduction. The original holsters are almost impossible to find, so I just got this one to have something. The other thing you'll notice in the picture is the non-commissioned officer sword, which I happen to have an authentic one of them as well. And if you guys are interested, I'll show you the maker mark here, if I can get it to show. It's not showing up well, but needless to say, yes, this is an authentic German or Bavarian World War I non-commissioned officer saber. So that would have kind of been the setup for this particular revolver. Now, it was a single action revolver chambered in 10.6 millimeter. It was a huge gun, we established that. Some unique things about it is the safety. It actually retained the safety. You could carry it with the hammer down on a chamber. That was where the efficiency, or how modern the gun was, that's where it ended. Because, to be honest, this gun was outdated at the beginning of World War I, and especially in World War II. Now, why would I say that? I would say it because A, it was huge. The handle's oddly shaped. It's an uncomfortable gun to fire. Other reasons, it's a single action only revolver. Almost all the other countries had double action, and you'll see a later video. I have an Italian 1889 Bodhi, I think is how you'd say it, but it was basically Italy's general issue sidearm revolver, and it's a double action. So most revolvers were double action. This gun didn't even have, what you see here is just holding the cylinder in place. There is no ejection rod to take the casings out. What would have happened is in this revolver holster somewhere, actually this one doesn't even have a place for it, but in an original holster there would have been a place for a wooden, I guess a wooden stick, but what they would consider a wooden ejection rod that would have been used to eject the casings. And I guess if you lost that, you could kind of use anything you had on you to knock the casings out. So, some things specifically about this gun. I don't like to touch the gun so much. I mean, they already have pitting. This one has what I would consider freckling more than pitting. And I'll show you what I mean in a later video, because the Italian gun I got from Roll Tiger, here's a little spoiler. Overall, it's in pretty good condition for what I paid. It's okay, but from about this point forward, has what I consider heavy pitting. The stuff on this gun I wouldn't call heavy pitting. It's either light pitting, freckling, whatever you guys want to call it. So, here we have the maker. It's a Seoul made. It's got a maker mark there. Serial numbers there. You have to bear with me, my flash turned off. So this gun is completely numbers matching. Some cool things about it are even the small pins and screws are numbered, and they're all matching. Now, what I'd like to get here is this thing to come in focus here. And you can see back here, this is where they stamped the regimen, where the gun was issued to. And what I can tell you, I can't explain to you how I know as far as how to read it. I guess I would look that up online if you're extremely interested in that and you have one. But it was told to me it was Bavarian issued, and you can read all the numbers on there. It takes it right down to the regiment and the exact number gun that it was issued. So that's pretty unique. I guess I hope you guys got some information on this gun, and if nothing else, you at least see what kind of guns can still be had out on the secondary market in 2023. I found this Reich's Revolver with all the Militaria and all the medals and pictures and the shadow box for a very decent price. And then I bid on the non-commissioned sword and won that as well, and it just makes a nice package for hanging up on the wall. I don't know what else I could say about it. It's a very robust, heavy-duty revolver, standard issue for World War I, very secondary issue for World War II. Basically, I would guess medics. I know everybody always says medics, but it really would have been medics, messengers, different jobs that weren't combat jobs in World War II. Maybe guard duty, stuff like that, may have been issued these. By then, there were so many better options, and there were so many other guns being issued that this definitely would have been probably a last resort. But there is documentation of them being issued, as well as there were guns brought back from World War II. And I'm going to be honest, I think this gun may have been brought back from World War II. I don't know, because it wasn't in the paperwork when I bought it. But what I can tell you is there's no import marks. There's no import marks anywhere on the pistol, on the revolver rather. So, I don't know. I know it came from an estate. The guy was a serious collector. All his firearms were in very nice shadow boxes with 100%. Yeah. I'm tongue-tied today, guys. It's been months since I put out even a full-length video. So, he had multiple shadow boxes in his collection that hit auction. They all had authentic Militaria and collectibles and medals and different things to go with them, and that's what you're seeing today. You're seeing a lot of the older generations, unfortunately, passing on, and the families just aren't interested in their firearms, so you're seeing this stuff hit the secondary market. So before I ramble on too far, just to conclude, this is an 1883 Reich's Revolver. Imperial, German, issued. Some people would have considered this model the officer's model. I don't know if only officers were issued these or not, but I do know that most of World War I cavalry would have been issued the 1879, which I don't have to show you. Just think about this revolver with a longer barrel and a much larger handle. And other than that, they're pretty much identical. So, until next time, guys, this is your first video in the World War I series here on the History Through Firearms channel. Thank you, and sounding off.